Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Agent Psycho, and we're gonna get started on the 51st chapter of the Exploring the Arsenal series featuring me, Agent Psycho, aka Sniper 98. In this episode, we're gonna be taking a look at the GP grenade launcher, the M79. This is the, I believe this is the first of its kind, like as in a break action grenade launcher, and followed by it, of course, we have the MCP1, which I also did a review on previously, earlier this year. And yeah, the M79 is a quite unique grenade launcher. Functionally speaking, it's pretty much the exact, or it's not really exact same, but it is used pretty similarly as to the RPG and the Law, but its popularity is not as high as the Law or the RPG because of the fact that it's a grenade launcher and not a rocket launcher, which means that the M79 is a projectile weapon and which fires in a parabolic pattern, which means that it does pretty much act like a one-shot M32, where you have to kind of aim your shots above your target, so a little bit above your target depending on how far away they are from you in order to hit them, unlike the RPGs and Laws, which when you fire them they just go in a straight line because they're rockets, you know. So yeah, the M79 grenade launcher. Let's get started on the review. So some of you may remember this M79 as the China Lake from Black Ops, the Thumper from Modern Warfare 2, and the same kind of grenade launch from Left 4 Dead 2. They are all essentially the same weapon. They're all grenade launchers. They're all break action grenade launchers, single shot. And in terms of combat arms, it does cost well, when the 1-day sales were around anyway, it did cost 1,000 GP for a day, but now it costs 4,900 GP for a week. And as usual, it is unlocked at Command Sergeant Major 1. Now, before we move on with the actual review of the M79, I would like to point out that the next review on the Bowie knife, the audio for that and basically in that review, I will mention that the Bowie knife is the chapter number 51, the Exploring the Arsenal series. I did that. I recorded the audio commentary for that review before I'm doing this one, so I kind of got confused there because I forgot that the M79 it's technically before the Bowie knife. But anyways, hopefully you guys will remember that when I release the Bowie knife review. And moving on to the statistics of the M79 grenade launcher. The M79 grenade launcher deals a 65 damage according to combat arms. This is not really the case because just like the Law and the RPG, the Law deals 80 damage, whereas the RPG deals 86 damage. The M79 deals about the same damage as the RPG-7. It may be a little bit weaker, but I'm pretty sure it's not stronger. However, the M79 effectively enough is a 2-shot kill grenade launcher, so if anyone's like slightly wounded, if they've been shot by an assault rifle, then just one M79 grenade shot will finish them off, assuming that you do catch them in its maximum radius. Once again, just like any other explosive, the M79 does have a maximum radius slash like basically effective range and damage drop off, depending on how far away your target is from its initial blast radius. So that is its damage. Portability is at a 45, so I believe this is the same as I don't know. Yeah, it's the same as the MCP1. I'm not sure if the Law or the RPG are slower or faster. I'm gonna say it's slower, but then again, I don't have the stats of the Law or the RPG up on my computer right now, so I can't really confirm that. But for the time being, the M79 is pretty much as fast as the MCP1. The recoil on the M79, which really doesn't really matter anyway, is at a 53. But once again, because it is a single shot break action M79 grenade launcher, which means that basically after you fire, you have to reload it. You know, and because of that, recoil is completely negligible. You don't have to worry about it at all. Just fire and then just don't worry about it. In terms of other statistics, like for example, rate of fire, quote unquote, combat arms does not really give launchers a rate of fire, so to speak, especially for weapons like the M79 and the Law and RPG, because they all are like one-shot weapons, and after you fire one shot, you have to reload them. So rate of fire doesn't really make sense. However, if you think about it, the rate of fire is tied in with the reload speed, because just like the M79, the thing about the M79 is that just like the Law and the RPG and the MCP1, all those launchers share this characteristic, just like there's a I wouldn't want to say bug, but let's see how I can explain this. What I mentioned in some of my pistol reviews on, say, pistols like the K5, G23, and the USP, after you fire those pistols, after you fire your last bullet, if you do not quick switch your gun, your pistol out, and switch quickly back to your pistol again, it'll take a while. It'll have like a little brief moment of like it'll basically pause for a brief moment before starting to reload animation. The launchers behave the same way, in that after you fire them, there's kind of like that recoil kickback animation. However, if you quick switch your launchers, any one of your launchers, right after you fire them, then your character will immediately start to reload. And the rate of fire when you quick switch it on the MCP1, or not the MCP1, the M79 is about as fast as the MCP1s. It's most likely it's gotta be faster than the law. However, I still don't think it's faster than the RPG. I think the RPG still has the fastest reload. I don't know. It's kind of hard to juxtapose them in my mind. Maybe we can do some gun testing later, but whatever. But anyways, its reload speed and hence rate of fire is pretty similar to the MCP1 because of their nature of being break action one-shot grenade launchers. It shouldn't come as a surprise. Accuracy and range. As for its accuracy slash range, accuracy is something that you need to basically build up in terms of skill with the MCP1, the M79 or M32, any launcher that has a parabolic shot to it. And as for range, because it is a parabolic projectile that it shoots, as for range, you're probably going to have to think of it yourself. My guess is that if you were to try to test the range, like the maximum possible range of the M79, if you were to go on either of the sniper rooftops of Costa Rica on either spawn, and you were to stand on the very top of it and point your M79 at a perfect 45-degree angle, my guess is that the M79 shot that you fire from there will just be barely able to clear the middle boxes, the crates and all the boxes in the middle of the map on Costa Recon. That's my hypothesis, but then again, it could be a little bit different than that, but that's just my guess anyway. In all honesty, though, because of its nature as a parabolic grenade launcher, you should only use the M79 and the MCP1 for like close to medium range combat. You should not worry about long range at all because, I mean, even if you were to try, there's only so far. The M79 and the MCP1 can only shoot so far, and you're best off leaving like long range like rocket launcher use to like the RPGs or laws or something like that. Let's see. Moving on to the non-statistical aspects of the M79. The certain drawback is pretty fast for a launcher, in my opinion. Then again, I could be wrong, but to me anyway, the M79 does pull up very quickly after you're done sprinting. So if you're running with the MCP or what the hell MCP, the M79 out, and suddenly an enemy comes around the corner, you can quickly stop for sprinting and then just basically fire off a shot and hopefully kill him. The draw speed on the M79 is I would say pretty moderate. I don't really see what's so special about the M79's draw speed. It is completely silent, just like the MCP1s, so that is an added bonus. And the reload speed, I've already mentioned before, it's pretty much similar, if not identical, to the MCP1s. The fire modes on the M79, I keep confusing that with the MCP1. God damn, they have such similar names. The M79 is basically single fire. Basically, after you fire one shot, you have to reload again. Ammo capacity, the M79 has 3 grenades. When it first came out, the M79 used to have only 2 grenades, which really sucked because like the law and the RPG both had 3 rockets, and most people who wanted to use the M79 were like, well, why didn't you give the M79 3 shots? It's nothing different than it's no different from the law or the RPG. It's actually even worse because you can't just snipe people with it, and the rocket will just go flying across the map. So Nexon eventually listened and implemented the fact that the M79 does now start with 3 grenades, just like how the law and the RPG both start with 3 rockets. Key physical characteristics. So it has some characteristic or similar characteristics to the MCP1, both in the fact that they both have like a tubular like a tubular design. And basically, what that means is it looks like kind of like a tube, or the barrel looks like a tube, like a long tube out of which the grenade is shot. However, the MCP1 is not only is there the obvious color difference, but also the MCP1 seems to it has a different handle, and the M79 is very characteristic in the fact that its wooden handle is basically it's like its characteristics trademark, like its physical trademark. So yeah, and in terms of reloading as well, the MCP1 and the M79 are pretty similar in terms of reload as well, because you have to break them open upwards and then eject the grenade, spent grenade, and then put another one in, blah 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 blah. Muzzle noise. Muzzle noise on the M79 is different than that of the MCP1. So if someone's using MCP1 and M79, you can tell the difference between the two. I think anyway, if like basically when they fire both of them, I think they sound different. I know what the MCP1 sounds like, but I'm not too sure what the M79 sounds like. It's been some time since I last got the gameplay for it, but I'm pretty sure it's different. But anyways, I could be wrong, so do let me know if I am wrong on that. Attachment options, none. There are none, so go home. Fire team worthy, only in like the Desert Thunder, Desert Fox, Nemesis HQ maps. Essentially only Desert Thunder, because I mean that's all people use in Desert Thunder anyways, like heavy explosives. So quarantine worthy, of course. I mean the M79 is an explosive and a grenade launcher, so I mean of course it's gonna do a lot of damage to zombies. So why not use it? I mean the RBGs and the laws are easier to use because they have straight trajectories, but I mean there's no reason why the M79 can't be used as well. As for my frank personal opinions, the M79 grenade launcher is a fun launcher to use. Don't get me wrong. However, the fact that its popularity is low is basically due to the fact that the law and the RPG are a lot easier to use. And unfortunately, as much as I kind of don't like that fact and kind of want people to use M79 more, it is true that the law and the RPG are fundamentally easier to use than the M79, because the M79 is a parabolic grenade launcher, so that means that you're gonna have to. It's gonna take a lot more skill to use the M79, in other words, than it would be to use the law or the RPG, especially at like ranges where you know that the arc of the M79 shots will make a difference between whether or not you hit your target. So that's why most people just go around using the laws or the RPGs. I would like to see if people could start using the M79 more, because it is a fun grenade launcher to use. However, it not only is more expensive, but also, you know, it's like I mentioned before, for the past like minute or so, it's a little bit more difficult to use than the other rocket launchers that I mentioned. So in any case, it's a very good, it's a pretty good rocket or grenade launcher, and yeah. That's about it, guys, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed the review on the M79. Go check it out if you guys have not used before, especially in like quarantine or other places where you know explosives will be handy. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later. You